Oh my God, why is it so high? What? Oh, let me take this off. What's up, everybody? It's me, Eric. I'm trying to lay my hair down. I still have not dyed my hair, so it's not going to be a big reveal or anything like that. But I still wanted to just get started. Um, because I want to lay my hair down a little bit. I was going to wear it for the whole video, but then I was like, I don't want to hear nothing from Monique. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all on the thing. I don't want to hear nothing. So what's up? Let me put my other glasses on. Yeah, because that wasn't really giving me what I wanted. So I'm just here, just relaxing. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. It's Monday. I had a good weekend, a relaxing weekend, baby. When I tell you, I took the best nap on the balcony. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was just like hummingbirds flying over. Just it was nice. It was nice and it wasn't too hot. So I was able to get my relaxation on. See, with this thing, I feel like there was like little 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 pieces of fiber on there. Okay. So yeah, so beautiful. So yeah, so it was I had a good weekend. I haven't had, like I said, I haven't had a chance um to dye my hair or anything like that. So let's go ahead and roll some reefer up and see what's going on down to the
Is I sponsor the now I sponsor the
Let me
blog.
tell you something.
vlogs. I did watch Blink twice. I watched Blink twice, and I also watched some episodes of the Menendez brothers, Ryan Murphy's production of Monsters on Netflix. Um, I fell asleep on like episode 4, so I need when I woke up it was on episode 6. So I need to go back. I need to go back and watch it. And then I also watched this other film. It was like a documentary about this woman who was contacted. It's called Into the Fire: The Lost Daughter, A Mother's Intuition, A Hunt for Justice. Um, it was about this woman who had given her child up for adoption when she had her baby. Like, I think she was like 16 years old. Baby was 9 months. Her mother convinced her to give it up for adoption. The child was adopted. She never heard, of course, anything about it. It was a closed adoption, blah, blah, blah. She went on, got married to a man. She's been married for 30 something years. She gets a letter in the mail that says, we potentially have a missing person who might be related to you, and we wanted to get your DNA to see if this person is the missing person that we're looking for. So she gives her DNA. She says that she couldn't wait. So she started to do a little bit of research, and maybe it was her daughter. And she was like, oh my God, if this was my daughter, I don't, to know that like something happened to her, blah, blah, blah. So she starts investigating. She starts investigating, and she gets try to get in contact with the family. There was a husband and a wife who um, couldn't have children. They adopted her, church going people. Um, then a couple of years, I think when she was like 13, maybe 13, they found out they got pregnant, and then they had a baby. And then they said all of a sudden she started getting rebellious, stealing things, petty theft, and all this other stuff. Um, and then one day the father came home from dropping the mom off somewhere and noticed that the door to their room was unlocked, and there was money missing and a bag missing, and her jacket was missing. And then this is what the mom and dad are saying, and they were like, we haven't been able to find her, blah 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 blah. So um, she created a Facebook page finding this girl. Facebook page starts getting hits, 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 hits. She gets a hit from another person who lived in the area and was abducted at 6 years old. She was abducted at 6 years old, and she felt like it might have been the same person. Like she feels like if I lived in the same area, if this person went missing in this area, I was abducted from this area, and this and that. He tried to assault the little girl, took her in the woods near a campground. She was screaming. They heard a dog barking. The man got off of her and ran. When she, girl, the woman, she was like, felt suspicious of the adopted family. She felt suspicious of the mother. The mother felt suspicious of the adopted family, and she was like, so when they showed the picture of the family to the little girl who was well, she's an adult now, but to the woman who was abducted when she was 6 years old, she was like, that's the man. The man, your daughter's adoptive father is the man who abducted me and tried to arm me, had taken her clothes off and everything. Girl, it gets deeper than that. The mother was like, the biological mother was like, she was sending drones up. She started calling them, harassing them and stuff like that. Um, they tried to say she ran away. They tried to say she ran away. Girl, it's only 2 episodes, but they're like an hour and a half each. Go watch it. I was like, this motherfucking man, girl, and then the wife. Oh, when I tell you the way, and I was watching Salt Lake City, and the way that women sacrifice their children to be with men, it has to be studied. It does. It does. The way this woman was about her husband and believing every fucking thing he was saying, that basically, and what I've come to kind of agree with is that a lot of these men use marriage as a a guise for their real life. Like they use the woman as, like, I want to say a beard, but like a mask. Because men who are married, for some reason, society takes them more seriously. And a man who is married typically would not be someone suspected of being a potential serial killer. He's married. He goes to work. He's in the reserves, in the Navy. He has, his another a biological daughter. He has an adopted daughter. No, girl. I'll let y'all go watch it. It's only 2 episodes. It's called Into the Fire, The Lost Daughter. The biological mother was like, I'm on your ass, motherfucker. If that was my motherfucking daughter, she was like, girl. And then the DNA test came back and said it wasn't her. She was like, I can't. That it doesn't. She looks just like me. Her eyes, it was the eyes that really gave it away. She was like, my daughter, he has my daughter. He still has her. She ain't go nowhere. He has my daughter somewhere. Girl, I'll let you go watch it. Oh, another thing that I was doing this weekend, I was studying human design. Y'all been asking me, Erica, do you study human design? Do you study human design? Have you done your human design? Have you done your human? I have not. I have not. I knew that, just by doing a quick little search, that I am a manifesting generator. Is that what they call them? Hold on, let me see. Girl, look, look. Look, your girl. Yeah, I was doing that all this weekend. Okay, so let me see. It's a workbook, and that's what I really wanted, something that would allow me to do my own manifesting generator is what I am, with with a with a moment of truth. Basically, with the defined sacral, that is my that's my type or design or whatever. And it's so true. This is so freaking true. I'm not finished. I still have I'm on the gates. I've already figured out which of my which of my gates are defined and undefined, and now I'm reading the individual gates that I have like color coming from, um and then reading what those individual gates mean and reading the complete gates. Yeah, and what's unconscious and conscious is very, very interesting. This is the workbook that I got. It's not long at all, but then I also went like there's like a human design website, they call it Jovian, I think, and that's where everybody would like ask me like or tell me to go for the website. Oh wait, hold on, I have it in my notes. We'll get started in a second because I do want to talk a little bit about Boosie. Um, what is it called? Jovian Archive. Discover your design, live your life. So, um, so it says that a manifesting generator. My inner authority is my sacral. Y'all, do y'all hear me when I'm talking? I'll be like, I can feel it right here. I tell, do y'all ever notice that? That's so crazy because it literally, I can feel my sacral chakra activate, and I could feel it like when I'm feeling like if it's something, anything, it could be anything, and I could just feel it, like I could feel it in my gut. I could feel it. And it's so funny that things have to align in order. You know how we make fun of Lauren Hill coming out like she's late until the damn planets align and then she'll come out. That's me. As things have to be just right. I look at numbers, I look at sequences of numbers. I have to, it's funny because things have to be just right. And then when things start, I look at all the sequences of the numbers. I remember like even in apartment, if I move into apartment, I look at the number of the apartment. I see what that number means on the apartment. Like I'm very like, I don't know. It just has to feel like it has to feel right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been doing. And this is actually a pretty good, it's a workbook that, I mean, it's really comprehensive, um, and explains a lot. And it's so interesting. So interesting. So I'm doing mine now. I'm going to do my kids after. So this is really, really interesting. Um, I love the fact that it incorporates the I Ching. I love the fact that it incorporates the chakras. I love it. I love it. I love it. So it's good. It's actually really, really very interesting. So, and then it's so funny because there were so many things that were like considered undefined, and I'm like, what? Why? Why is it undefined? But it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's not a big deal because when I was reading the parts that were undefined and understanding, like, oh, that explains me being highly sensitive. And I'm looking here and reading these things, and it's like, I'll just read you this part because my emotions channel is undefined. So it says, you'll probably consider yourself an emotional person when in fact you are actually writing the emotions transmitted by others. You laugh their laughs and cry their tears. So, what you must realize is that your emotions are triggered by the emotional impact of others. Your natural state when alone is to be cool, calm, and collected. And that's when I be going off on stuff down here, and then y'all be like, Erica, after I'm done, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm done." And I think that's why a lot of y'all can feel me when I'm going off, because I'm actually, it's your emotions that I'm emoting. They're when I'm done, I'll be like, all right, y'all, I'm about to go. Protect your energy. That's why y'all be like, she can go from Tokyo Tony to motherfucking to me, back to me. And and then you like protect your energy, right? Because it's not my emotions that I'm really going off of. It's your emotions. When I read that, I was just like, oh, that really explains. And it says, um, What tends to happen when you step outside that personal space is that you get caught in other people's emotional waves. It is a conditioning influence because your design isn't made to cope with such intensity of feeling. People with this center undefined have the greatest trouble in allowing themselves to feel emotions. If you're not comfortable in your own skin at certain moments, it messes with your nature. I'm telling you, the way that I could like when I saw Blink twice, the way that I would have been, that there would have been nothing. It would have been nothing to react the way those women reacted when they started remembering what was happening to them. Nothing. We are going to make a plan, and it's no mercy out this. You understand? We're terminating. Everybody is going to be terminated, and we're going to have buckets for everybody. And don't hold back, and do not stop until the motherfucker goes limp. Okay, all right, all right. I'll be dead serious. And when I'm done here, down here talking to y'all, I'm just like, I go smoke, whatever, whatever, but that's it. And it's so funny because when you're growing up and you learn that you're highly sensitive, you're very sensitive to the emotions of people around you. That is the why you have to protect your energy. Because can you imagine if I was just walking around all the time? When you don't have any boundaries, energetic boundaries is when you're now absorbing all the people's emotions, and you can't tell your emotions from their emotions, and you're always monitoring what everyone else feels like, and you're not in touch with your own emotions. That comes with work, that comes with getting out of the people pleasing, that comes with trying to stop figuring out what everyone else is thinking, and not doing the people pleasing thing. Because when you're like in a people pleasing mode and you're highly sensitive, you're trying to, whatever that person's mood is that you've detected, you try to figure out how to get them out of that mood or get them in a better mood, in the people pleaser, right? Instead of being like, oh, okay, I see you are in this mood. All right, let me put up my energetic boundaries so that I can observe and not absorb. And that takes work. That's something that I learned with being in a relationship with a narcissist. I like when I realized that I was in a relationship with a narcissist, baby, when I tell you I totally flipped it, when it was like, I realized, I was like, oh, this is what I'm in right now. Like, okay, now I have an opportunity to study this person. So now that I know what I'm in, I can now study this person and watch this person and observe this person practice their narcissism. And it's so interesting. It was so interesting that after I realized, oh, this is a narcissist. Now I know who I am to this person. Now let me study this person, because it was very interesting to me how I ended up in that situation with a person so narcissistic. But as a highly sensitive person, and then learning that empaths, I don't really like to use the term empath because I feel like there's like this fake aesthetic to it. The idea that a highly sensitive person and a narcissist come together because they have the same wounds, just a different approach, and that person uses that empath or highly sensitive person as a supply. And if that highly sensitive person or empath doesn't have defined boundaries, you're the greatest supply for a narcissist. Like, the best. Like, they will just keep sucking and siphoning from you as long as you're in your people pleasing. It causes you to do a lot of self work. You cannot just say that you're in a relationship with a narcissist. Like, I hear a lot of people say that, oh, he's a narcissist, he's a narcissist. If you have ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you know the world that you are in. It's literally, you're in a different, they create a different world. You're in a whole different world. And that is the reason why people are like, where the gaslighting comes in, because they've created an alternate reality that you two are in. Like, it's very, very deep. It's not a flippant thing to just call somebody a narcissist. You understand what I'm saying? While we can say we have narcissistic behaviors and things like that, but to say like, you to know that you were in the way that the person, it's like textbook behavior, when you're like, I remember, and I have a paper that I had, and I drew a line down the middle, and I wrote narcissist, empath, and I started writing all the similarities, and I realized, oh, this is the same person. They have similar wounds, but they took a different approach, and it happens in childhood. It happens in childhood, and that's why now I was watching the Menendez brothers, and I was watching Monsters, and I was like, because they are males raised in this society, there's like this air that a lot of men are narcissists, right? And it comes with the socialization, but also comes with how they're treated in childhood. They're taught to not to acknowledge their emotions, remove the emotion, right? Just function so that people can still function and relate to you, but you have to remove all of the emotion, because when you were growing up, you were taught your emotions don't mean anything. You're taught to suppress your emotions. And so that's why we see a lot of men and we're like, oh, y'all are some narcissists, but not, they're like socialized that way, not to be in touch with their emotions, not to be caring, and not to be nurturing, and not to feel empathy towards something, right? They are taught that. And so that's why a lot of people are like, oh, you're, when Cardi B was like, narcissism is at an all-time high, like the niggas is running rapid, because that's the way they're socialized. But like when you listen to like a true somebody who has been diagnosed, and unfortunately people don't get diagnosed with NPD because they don't think nothing's wrong with them. They're perfect. What are you talking about? I don't have nothing wrong with me. It's you that has the problem. I don't have any problems. I'm fine. So nobody is going to go. And then on top of that, then the men, they're socialized not to seek help like that. So then you can see how so many people are like, oh, yeah, these motherfuckers are narcissists. But when I realized that that was the situation that I was in, I literally started studying him. I started recording our conversations to listen to what to the way that he thought, cuz I was at that point, I was now acting like I was still in his trance, right? I was acting like I was still like trying to work with him, trying to get him to understand where I was coming from. So I was still playing that role, but while recording our conversations and then going back and listening to how he would really say something. And then like later in the conversation, he would be like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Why would you say I say that? I never said that. And then like really would argue to the point where I'd be like, I could have swore you said that. I could have swore you said that. I'm not crazy. I know what the fuck you said. You understand? That's when you're like, I'm not crazy. I know what you said. And they're like, no, that's the gaslighting. No, I'm telling you, when I studied that motherfucker, I was like, oh, while you here, we're about to flip this shit and study you. It was so interesting when I realized. And then when I read this, my emotions being undefined, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is totally resonating with me, right? Learn to not react to emotions that are not a part of you. Instead, reflect back your clear perception of what is going on, observe the objective sidelines, be a witness, not a player. That is something that I had to learn. I had to learn to create boundaries, because when you get an unhealed empath, that is the prime, they're like a sitting duck for a narcissist, right? You don't have no boundaries. You want to feel it. You feel in everything. You're trying to figure out if this person's mad, upset, and then they just do what they do. And it's so weird how they're like literally textbook, like they're all the same, and it's like they have different approaches, but when you get down to the root of it, it's like the same behaviors. And so when people holler that they're in a relationship, girl, honey, you if you've never been in a relationship with somebody who is narcissistic, you will never, it's nothing to be like, oh, he's a narcissist. No, that motherfucker is just an asshole. They're a different kind of beast, literally. And unfortunately, we find ourselves in relationships with them, especially if we have no boundaries, low boundaries. We are in our, and women especially are socialized to be people pleasers, socialized to try to figure out if everybody else is okay, right? Before we are okay, right? You can either dive in and magnify those emotions or stay out of the sea and reflect back to those people what is transpiring and how to be responsible about it. Be a witness, not a player. So interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go because that was a lot about just the weekend. So I'm going to come back. So I'm going to come back. Take care of each other. Let me know if anybody studying human design, what are you in your human design chart? I'm almost finished. Like I said, I'm like right here, so I'm almost done. And I will definitely be doing more studying. I haven't gotten to the profiles right now. Right now, I'm like I said, I'm on the gate, so it's very, very interesting. And I'll put this in the Amazon store front. So if you guys want to get this, because this was the easiest for me, I didn't want a book just on human design. I wanted a book that I can write in. You know, I'm writing in it. I'm on the borders, writing in the borders, highlighting, drawing myself. You know what I'm saying? You know, just everything. I needed a workbook. I can't get like a regular book. And I was like, I don't want to do an audio book. I need to see it. I need to write it. I need to write down. I need to do all the things so it can stay in my head. So this is very interesting. So if you're interested in learning about, you know, it's a little delves into a little bit, not too much astrology, but there's some in there, astrology, I Ching, the chakras, Kabbalah. The 32 gates are you know, formed after Kabbalah. So and the I Ching. So it's like a it's like a gumbo of all the things in one design. So it's actually pretty interesting. It talks about the person who created it, who came up with it. Hold on. Uh, and this person dedicated this book, ironically, to Osho. Um, I wrote down the person's name who this was, who came up with this. It's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. It's not a, this is what it says. It's not some new age concept. It's accuracy and inescapable and is inescapable and timeless. It's not a philosophy or a belief. It's an actuality rooted in the science that speaks to its own power. Nor does it require the attraction or manifestation of wishes and desires. There is no asking, visualizing, or positive thinking required because it's truth already existing in us. Very interesting. I love it. I love it. It's very interesting. But like, it's so funny because a lot of the things is when every now and again someone in the comments asks me, do I study or have I studied human design? I don't know if it's something that I say kind of triggers you, but no, this was the first time I've ever, like I said, I know who I am, like a manifesting generator. I already understood that because I was like, okay, let me see. But then I saw all them damn roads and channels and stuff like that. I was like, girl, this is too much. But this book is very explains everything step fucking by step. So I appreciate this book, and it's by Chetan Parkin. Um, they have a website that goes along with it. I kind of went on the website, not too much interested in the website, but it tells you about a website that they have on the in the beginning of the book. So this is interesting. So go get it. Anyways, take care of each other, protect your energy. We'll come back for another video. Peace.